Today, I want to share with you one of the biggest lessons I've learned in this chapter of my life. Hello, my angels. I am so happy you're here. I'm so happy to all my new subscribers I have. Thank you so much. You guys are really showing me how much you appreciate my content. So I know as we get older, we never imagined our life the way it is, maybe. I know I didn't. I never imagined my life would be the way it is. Like a lot of people, I thought retirement would look different. But life has a way of changing our plans, of even changing our outlook on life. I didn't imagine that I would be living alone when I retired. I was hoping to have a spouse or someone in my life to share things with. But instead, I'm living my retirement life alone. When I became an empty nester, my first thought was, wow, it's so quiet. And the quiet was so loud. I was like, how am I going to do this? I felt afraid. I felt lonely. Felt like I wasn't going to have anyone to talk to share my little moments with. You see a red bird outside or a hummingbird sometimes. You want to say, hey, did you see that? I had nobody to share it with except baby. But over time, something happened. Living alone wasn't so bad. It wasn't so scary. I didn't feel alone anymore. I was learning to enjoy my own company. And slowly I realized living alone changed me. One of the first things it taught me is that peace is priceless. I no longer live with constant noise in my house, unless that's what I want. I don't have the unnecessary drama that sometimes comes when you have other people in the house. My home has become my safe place. I wake up ready to start my day with my cup of coffee. Man, there's no one to share it with, but I still enjoy the coffee. I get to listen to music that nobody else may want to hear. I used to hear that. Why are you listening to that kind of music? Why are you listening to that music? Why are you listening to that song? No more questions, just music. I get to live and create the home that I want, not based off of somebody else's idea or what they think it should look like, but based off of what I want, based off of my creation. I think my home reflects who I am now. It doesn't have everybody else's touch in there. It's just mine. I like that. Makes me feel creative. And it also gives me the idea that I am living a simple life. And it's good. I'm not trying to create a bunch of chaos and a bunch of elegant things. Those aren't me. I'm not that person. You remember Green Acres, Zsa Zsa Gabor, and she lived in almost a cabin, but she had all these elaborate, glittery chandeliers and things like that in her house. Nah, I don't want all of that. But that's what happens a lot of times. When people have money, they don't know what to do with it. They buy what they think other people buy when they have money. I've learned that peace is not something you can buy. It's something that you protect. You protect your peace. Another big lesson I've learned from living alone is that I'm stronger than I ever thought I was. When something breaks now, I get it fixed ASAP. I don't have to sit around waiting until somebody's ready to fix it. I change my own light bulbs. I fix whatever it is broken. There's not too many things around my house that are broken because I don't like living in broken things. I pay my own bills. I'm in control of my spending, my savings. I don't have to have someone telling me, oh, you should get that, and having me spending more money on something that I really don't care about. Because a lot of people are into brand names, not me. I'll take generic any day. I mow my own lawn. That's part of my exercise program. I mow my lawn and my neighbor's lawn. So it usually takes me 40 minutes to mow my lawn and my neighbor's lawn. So that's a good 40-minute workout. And my son always, Mom, you want me to cut the grass? I'm like, no, I got it. That's my exercise. Don't worry about it. I got it. And sometimes we don't discover our own strength until life gives us no other choice. We have to depend on ourselves. And even if you can't physically do something, you have to depend on your brain, your wits to get things done. Living alone has also taught me some of life's simplest pleasures. Going to the fair, going to a festival, going to watch goats hang out by the lake, watching the jet skiers out there. These are just free things that I get to do by myself or with a friend. And it's priceless. And it gives me those memories to think about some of the things I've done. Watching the birds. I just saw that we have some new fledglings or birds or baby birds because I found a blue egg shell in the yard when I was mowing lawn. I said, oh, the babies are hatching. So that was interesting to me. And now I hear Mama Bird out there most of the time just squawking because she's right by my front door. So when I go out, I get to hear her. Taking a walk through the neighborhood, waving at some of my neighbors. I went to the grocery store the other day and saw one of my neighbors at the store. I said, hey, what are you doing here? He was like, if you don't see me walking in the neighborhood, I'm walking in the store. So that was nice running into him at the grocery store. When you're living on a fixed income and you're living alone, sometimes just sitting at the table with a cup of coffee, looking out the window, watching the cars pass, watching neighbors walk up and down the street, that can be a moment. Or just going outside, sitting, listening to the outdoor noises, that can be a moment. Another thing that living alone has taught me is that when I spend money, I am much more intentional with how I spend it. There's no one I share my finances with, so therefore I get to see exactly what I'm spending my money on. There's no unexpected money taken out of my savings account because somebody decided they needed a new boat or a new car. My car is paid off and I will run it until it no longer runs, and then I'll be done. I will not get a new car. I'll be taking Uber or continue the way I did and ride with my neighbor, because I really don't drive much, so I don't really need to have a new car. That's just part of my budgeting strategy. But living alone has really given me insight on things to appreciate. Before, I was so busy trying to keep up with everybody else, I didn't really have a chance to appreciate my accomplishments, my way of wanting to live. I never knew how I wanted to live. I was so busy living everybody else's life. But now that I'm alone, I get to reflect and just really know what it is I want. And that's another thing. Living alone has taught me about relationships. Not everyone who comes into your life is meant to stay, and that's okay. I used to feel like I wasn't worthy if I didn't have a man by my side, someone to help me financially. I was always trying to be who someone else wanted me to be. I wanted to impress others. As I've gotten older, I value kindness, honesty, and consistency more so than appearance and someone trying to impress me and not having those attributes to themselves. I'm looking for a genuine connection where we click on a different level now. But I'm so happy I do live alone because it really has taught me how to enjoy my own company. I don't need someone around me to make me feel worthy. I feel worthy on my own now. And I'm really proud of myself, who I am now, and all the things I've been through and I've gotten out of it. And I can still smile and I can still be happy. And living alone has really brought me out of my shell, I think. Before, I had no idea who I was. I was just wearing a mask. And now the mask is off. So what you see is what you see. Living alone has taught me that I can live my life happily, peacefully, right where I am. Living alone doesn't mean living a lonely life. Those are two separate things. There may be moments when I miss having someone to share life with, but that's normal because we are created to be social creatures. But loneliness does not define my life anymore. Purpose, gratitude, and hope define my life. If you're living alone and you're watching this video, whether by choice or because life took an unexpected turn, I want to encourage you that sometimes we finally discover who we are when we are no longer attached to someone else. We actually get to learn who we are, what we stand for, what we want. So if you're sitting at home alone, quietly wondering what's next, I hope you will remember this. You are starting a new chapter. And this chapter can be just as meaningful as all the other chapters you've lived. You can be just as happy, just as content, and just yourself. If you live alone, leave me a comment and let me know one thing that living alone has taught you. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, my angels.